What is up, y'all? What is good? What is Gucci with y'all? It's Tina Cole, and I'm back with another video. This one's gonna be a little bit different. We going on a deeper level, and we getting like deep, bro. Like we getting mentally, spiritually, physically deep, like deep life stuff for real. And I think I'm gonna do these topics like maybe once or twice a week. Stray a little, stray a little away from Kai and all the boys and all the gaming and stuff, just to get like on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to do this when I first awakened, and I was doing a lot of deep dive, and I feel like at some point it was kind of like, what's the word? Getting too overbearing, and too much information going in at once, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like doing this like twice something a week. Maybe y'all get it like a Sunday or Mondays, you know what I'm saying? If not, maybe the middle of the week. But mostly at the end of the weeks, weekends, I'm gonna drop these for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually deep, deep science stuff, you know what I'm saying? Spirituality, science, all that, you know what I'm saying? We're going deep this time. Deep. Yes, sir. And, we're just going to talk. I'm just, try to listen, try to overstand, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Not stand, but overstand. You know? Yes, sir. But anyway, so, like, yeah, and what's that I want to say? I think that's it. Shoot, let's just hop into the thing. You know what I'm saying? The first thing I'm gonna start off with is, I don't know if y'all heard Terrence Howard lately and how he been talking, what he been saying. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? I feel like you got a little something there. It's something there. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think really deep about it, it's something there. Like I don't think he's wrong. I feel like there's some truth there. Just like everything has some truth. You feel me? But anyway, let's hop into it. Let me start talking. Let's get it. Let's see. So this one is called. Wait, hold on. This one is called the real reason Terrence Howard says 1 × 1 = 2. Now I tried to figure this out myself, but I couldn't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a math nerd. All the way up till high school. Once I got in college, didn't like math. I didn't like it because like it was hard. I didn't understand anything. Like it was at a different point, dude. Like school math was like, but college math. All right, chill. Let's hop into the video. All right, you ready? I don't think I'm ready. Boom. Yeah, there you go.
Because I know they're watching me right now. And they're mad at me.
Hold on. Now they watching him.
They're watching me right
Stop.
now. And they're mad at me.
Who's that? Terrence Howard, the famous actor, is claiming that 1 × 1 = 2. Sounds crazy, right?
Oh, by the way, I've seen the podcast. I've heard the podcast with him and Rogan. Did I watch the whole thing? I watched most of it for sure, but I was gonna like re-listen to it because like you know how when you gotta read stuff twice or watch a movie twice just to like get some more in, get some more information, stuff you missed. That's why But I watched it again a second time, but not a third time. All right, here we go.
Right? Or could he be onto something revolutionary? Terrence Howard has been going viral lately after his appearance on the Joe Rogan show, and this sparked a wildfire of discussion on the internet with a lot of people, including Neil deGrasse Tyson, responding and talking about it. Terrence
I didn't watch
uses
that video.
mathematical laws to justify his claim, but do these laws actually support him? He also believes that civilizations were tricked thousands of years ago to misunderstand these concepts, and that there's been a global conspiracy to keep humanity in the dark. So does 1 times 1 actually equal 2? Is Terrence Howard a mastermind or out of his mind? Whether you think he's a genius or completely off his rocker, you're about to find out what this really means. Remember to like and subscribe, and my channel is all about understanding the true nature of reality rationally. And when you hit the like button, it helps spread this information, so take a second to hit it now. Also, make sure you follow my podcast on Spotify called Dawn of the New Earth, and my new book is available now.
I didn't know he had a Spotify, but maybe I'll look into it.
Genesis,
I mean,
Dawn of the New Mind. You can find it on Amazon. Links are in the description of this video. When I began to research this, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Howard has written what he calls a proof for.
Hold on, I kind of want to see the documents.
To research this, I couldn't believe.
Unbalanced something. Wait.
Find it on Amazon.
Oh, hold on, we got it.
When I began to research this, I could.
Oh, this is by him. So first and foremost, let's ask the obvious question: is this a finished question? Yes or no? The answer is no. Wait, what? Let's start with first on it. It's why both sides. Yes, nature desires action, but demands equilibrium. Therefore, in order for an equation to be finished, completed both sides, an equal equation must be equally balanced. Yes, yeah. In this case, 1 times 1 equals 1. We have an unfinished equation. Oh my gosh, I want this, so I can actually study it, because we have 2 quote-unquote ones on one side of the equation. Come on, we're gonna figure this out, y'all. Let's figure this out. Relax. Come on. Oh no. I was reading it. Y'all gonna hate me. Look, don't hate me, y'all. Don't hate me.
Research this. I could.
Alright, so where we at? Because we have 2 ones on one side of the equation and one on the other side. Let's attempt to balance this equation by okay. First we call the value 1a. We call the second value b a 1. We call the third value 1. Opposite end. Remember basic laws, common sense. If a times b equals c, then c must be some product of a and b. Yet in order 1 times 1 and equals 1, the value of either a or b has been missing from the product of c. Let's not jump to the gun just yet. Let's just try to add both sides of the equation. Alright, bet. 1. Huh? I'm forgetting the laws, bro. I haven't been math in so long. Okay, he's doing both. All right. So he's trying to add it and then he's trying to minus it. All right, come on, we got this. So plus 1, 2, on both sides. Two. Okay. Wow. Alright, let's just subtract. -1, 0. 1 equals 0. Bro, what the world? Again, we finished the unbalanced equation. Yo, alright, I'm gonna let him talk. But that's crazy, though.
Howard has written what he calls a proof for his claim that 1 times 1 equals 2. So
I'm
we're going to explore that right now. In his document, Howard starts by claiming that the equation 1 times 1 equals 1 is unfinished and incomplete. Why? Well, he says it's because nature demands equilibrium and that the equation is fundamentally imbalanced. He says that 1 times 1 equals 1 is imbalanced because there are 2 ones on one side of the equation and only a single 1 on the other.
Each equation is supposed to be balanced. You know, that equal sign is supposed to show that there's a balance between these 2 numbers over here and a balance on this 1 over here. What happened to the other 1 in this equation?
Well, this is a fundamental misunderstanding of how equations work. An equation states that what's on one side equals what is on the other. In the case of 1 times 1 equals 1, both sides are balanced because 1 times 1 is 1.
How is it that multiplication, if it means to make more and increase in number, How is 1 times 1 equaling 1 part of the multiplication table?
So let's remind ourselves what multiplication actually is.
Yes,
multiplication
please.
is at its
'Cause I'm
core a
losing it.
form of repeated.
I'm
so
losing
what
it, okay?
multiplication actually is. Multiplication is at its core a form of repeated addition. It's basically a shortcut for adding the same number over and over again. For
Right.
example, if you have 5 groups of 2 apples,
Right.
instead of adding
5.
2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, you can just multiply 5 by 2. So 5 times
Okay.
2 means you have 5 groups of 2 apples, which is 10 apples in total. When
Yeah,
we're
or
saying
5,
1
5.
times 1, we're saying we have 1 group of 1 item. Imagine you just have 1 apple. So you would have 1 group of it. 1 group of 1 apple is still just 1 apple. So 1 times 1 is equal to 1.
Yeah.
It's straightforward and makes perfect sense, and even third graders understand this. But Howard doesn't understand this. He claims that 1 times 1 must equal 2 because he's viewing 1 times 1 as being 2 things, 2 ones. But that's not how multiplication works at all.
Right.
It's an operation, and in the case of 1 times 1, it's telling us we have 1 thing 1 time, which is just 1. In his paper, Howard attempts to use mathematical laws to justify his claim. Specifically, his document uses the associative and commutative laws of
That's what I was
addition and
reading, yeah.
multiplication. The commutative law is about order. It says that the order of the numbers doesn't change the result. For example, the commutative law means you can swap numbers around and still get the same answer. For example, 2 plus 3 is the same
5.
thing as 3 plus 2. Whether you add 3 plus 2 or 2 plus 3, you get the same total, 5. Multiplication is also commutative. You can swap the numbers and still get the same result. For example, 2 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 2. The associative law is all about grouping. It says that when you're adding or multiplying, the way you group the numbers doesn't change the result. For addition, the associative law means that, for example, if you're adding 3 numbers, it doesn't matter how you group them. For example, 2 plus 3 plus 4 is the same as 2. Most people
Hey,
have no idea.
yo. Bro, these ads kill me. No lie. They kill me, bro.
Plus 3 plus 4. Both ways, you get the same answer, 9. So whether you add 2 and 3 first, or 3 and 4 first, the total's the same. For multiplication, it's the same idea. For example, if you're multiplying
What about
3 numbers,
PEMDAS,
how you group
though?
them doesn't matter. 2 times 3 times 4 is the same as 2 times 3 times 4. Again,
Oh, yeah, that
both
makes
ways
sense.
gives you the same answer, 24. So
That
whether
makes
you
sense.
multiply 2 and 3 first, or 3 and 4 first, the product, it's the same thing. So these laws are basically about how you order and group things in mathematics. But guess what? These laws have absolutely nothing to do with the assertion that 1 times 1 equals 2.
I reached out to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Started it off with 1
Oh,
times
my
1
God.
equaling 2. And
No, 'cause
he
I
went
really
in
tried to
on
understand
my treaties, wrote, redlined everything. Then he
the 1
started
times 1
attacking,
thing. And I was
and then 1
like,
times 1 equaling 2.
To make things even
Confused.
stranger, in his document, Terrence Howard claims that he has spent 5 decades contemplating this subject. However, he posted this document in 2017 when he was 48 years old. 5 decades is 50 years. So unless he started studying this topic from the age of -2, it doesn't make any sense. Or maybe he's also discovered time travel? But it doesn't stop there, because Howard also asserts that the Anunnaki, or sky people, tricked humanity into believing a fake version of
this is in the document. Nah, Terrence might be off his rockers. Terrence might be off his rockers. Some call them Anunnaki, the sky people, whomever they were that gave the naive generation some 6,000 years ago a multiplication table, a flat view of universal geometry. They gave that poor, misguided people a false axiom. That's how you say that? Upon which to build their world. A false axiom that would behave almost as a bumper for our infantile-like species. A tutor, as it were. A false axiom that would measure of a group of the civilization. Okay.
Mathematics 6,000 years ago. But don't worry about the sky people, because Terrence claims to have developed a new form of mathematics that he calls karyology, which apparently is gonna...
No. Yep, he's definitely off his rockers, bro. He's off his rockers because I thought he had something going, and I don't see it. And then now he's naming math after himself.
revolutionized mathematics, and according to him, make figures like Pythagoras turn in their graves. Let's call this what it is. The claim that 1 times 1 equals 2 isn't just wrong, it's ridiculous. To say that 1 times 1 equals 2 is to misunderstand multiplication at its most basic level. In fact, the claim that 1 times 1 equals 2 is so far off base, it's impossible to take seriously. It's like saying that the Earth is flat, or that a triangle is actually a circle in Euclidean geometry. It's simply not true and defies the basic rules of logic and math. But what if I told you there was a little, tiny, microscopic nugget of truth hidden inside all this insanity?
That's what I was saying.
So
That's what I
was saying. Howard's ideas, they reminded me of something else. See, 1 times 1 doesn't equal 2, but what if I told you that 0 equals 2? Now, before you think I've gone as crazy as Howard, let me explain this. This concept comes from Aleister Crowley, a well-known occultist. Crowley proposed the formula 0 equals 2 as a symbolic representation of balance. He posited that reality is composed of balanced positive and negative forces. For example, if you have 1 and negative 1, you end up with 0. In other words, 0 equals 1 minus 1. Now, this equation is mathematically valid. It means that positive 1 and negative 1 cancel each other out, leaving you with 0. But if you notice on one side of the equation, it has two things, a positive 1 and a negative 1. This is why Crowley says 0 equals 2. But here's the key point. Crowley means 0 equals 2 symbolically, or metaphorically, not literally. 0 doesn't literally equal 2, and he knew that. Rather, it represents the equilibrium between opposing forces, positive 1 and negative 1, canceling each other out to create a state of balance, or 0. In Crowley's system, the concept of 0 represents the absolute, the ineffable source of all existence, sometimes referred to as nothing, or nuit in his cosmology. The number 2 represents the manifestation of duality and the created world. The equation 0 equals 2 represents the idea that these dualities ultimately arise from and return to a state of unity, emphasizing the idea that all distinctions are actually illusions and that everything is fundamentally interconnected. Crowley's formula of 0 equals 2 is not intended to be taken literally. Instead, it represents the idea that the sum of positive and negative forces, like positive 1 and negative 1, results in a balanced state, symbolized by 0. The problem with Terrence Howard's argument
I
is that
still don't get the 0
literal
equals 2
approach to a similar idea. Howard
yes, it's a
seems to have an
symbolism, but
intuitive
like
sense that reality has to be balanced, which is a very valid philosophical perspective to have. However,
wait, hold on, go back.
he takes a literal approach to a similar idea. Howard seems to have an intuitive sense that reality has to be balanced, which is a very valid philosophical perspective to have.
Yeah.
However, he misapplies mathematical principles to try to illustrate this idea, leading to some very incorrect conclusions. When Howard asserts that 1 times 1 equals 2, he's making a literal mathematical claim that simply does not hold up. Multiplication is a well-defined operation within the realm of mathematics, and 1 times 1 will always equal 1. By trying to force this equation to equal 2, Howard misunderstands the foundational rules of mathematics. Crowley's formula, 0 equals 2, is a metaphorical tool for understanding balance, whereas Howard's assertion that 1 times 1 equals 2 is a literal mathematical claim that does not align with mathematical principles. And this highlights a massive issue in New Age and mystical thinking in general. People might have an intuitive insight that might be correct in a loose sense, but they completely misinterpret them very often. Now, this usually happens because they aren't analyzing their intuitions with logic and reason. Take the idea of manifestation, for example, which is popular in New Age circles. The basic intuition here is that our thoughts and beliefs can influence our reality, and while that is true to a certain degree, when people believe that just thinking about wealth will make them rich without taking any action, well, that becomes a problem. The power of mindset is real, but without logical analysis, it leads to very unrealistic expectations.
By next year.
This is why in the Neogenian system of will forming, we always combine our goals with planning and action for actual manifestation. Then there's things like numerology. Many people feel that this is a mathematical reality, and this intuition, it makes sense, but numerology assigns mystical significance to numbers and claims that they can predict your destiny or reveal hidden truths. For example, let's say someone's birthday is July 16th, 1985. In numerology, you would add those numbers together. 7 for July, plus 1, plus 6, plus 1, plus 9, plus 8, plus 5, which equals 37. Then from the 37, you would add 3 plus 7 to get 10. And
so that's
finally, 1 plus 0 to get 1. And then numerologists might claim that this final number, 1, reveals something deep about the person's personality.
I think it's 3.
This does not hold up to logic and reason, and it has no basis in reality, even in a mathematical reality. A key issue here is something known as apophenia. Apophenia is the tendency to perceive meaningful connections and patterns in random or unrelated data. Now, this often results in seeing patterns or connections where there aren't any. So an example of this is seeing a face in the clouds. This is fine, but becomes a problem if you think that the face is real. This can be particularly problematic in the realm of metaphysics and spirituality. So let's circle back to Terrence Howard's argument. His intuition tells him that there should be balance, but he's not analyzing this intuition with rigorous logic that mathematics requires. Instead of recognizing that 1 times 1 inherently balances as 1, he forces a false equivalence that totally disrupts the foundational rules of math. I can't emphasize enough just how wrong Terrence Howard's idea is. Honestly, just researching this was intellectually painful. We have a vast reality to explore and a world to transform. Arguing about 1 times 1 equaling 2 is a waste of time and embarrassing. Ideas like this are exactly why many people don't take metaphysics seriously. While it's important to be open to new ideas and perspectives, we also have to make sure that our thinking is grounded in logic and reason. On this channel, we explore metaphysics rationally, specifically in our system of meta-rationalism. We explore the deep questions about reality, consciousness, and existence with a commitment to reason. So let's continue to explore the mysteries of the universe with an open mind, but not so open that our brain falls out. Let's keep questioning, exploring, and seeking truth, always grounded in logic and reason. And if that sounds good to you, check out my book, Neogenesis, Dawn of the New Mind, which is all about achieving a higher consciousness rationally. Become a member.
Alright, so he makes sense. That's why I said in the beginning, bro, like, I was trying to figure out what he was saying, and it wasn't working, like, cause what I learned, like, multiplication is whatever that number, and the next number is how many times that number, you know what I'm saying? Like, glad you cleared it up, my dude, you know? Even though the background, like, your background was really, like, I was kind of focused on it, and it was, like, distracted me sometimes, but, yeah, dude, you cleared that up for me. Thanks. Appreciate it. Good stuff. So, yeah, that was my, first, deep, probably started out, like, but I'm about to jump into another one, for real, about consciousness, okay? But we're gonna do it in another video. So y'all go check out that video. Go check out that video. And then why am I having a brain fart? Yeah, so peace out. Bye.